You don't know are the Real Things podcast. Hey yo!
Hello, 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 my people. Happy Easter. Happy Good Friday. How you doing? How are you doing on this holy, holy, holy day? You know that we would have had to come here and liaison and catch up on things that are happening in this YT streets. Blessed, 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 you know, Easter. My people, today we are taking it to the streets. We're doing like a detour in a little bit, but today we are taking it to the streets of Nyabohanse. Firstly, I have a question, guys. I have a question. Do you think, do you think that the G himself should be, dubbed a villain? What are your thoughts? Do you think he should be dubbed a hero? Guys, my reason for asking these questions today. We've seen the man. We have seen him incarcerated. And today, I'm seeing the G himself out on the streets and celebrating. My people, my people, my people. Hey. I don't know how to put it. Is he a villain or is he Nyabohanse's hero? So yesterday I saw a video with it's Gintu after he was, allegedly released. At this time, I have to say allegedly released because, and I use the term allegedly because I have not heard anything from him regards to that, except that he has titles here and there. I've seen him come out yesterday dancing on the streets of YT and celebrating. Bro, Monday Road. Yo, man on the streets again. Yes, me friend. Me good friend. Them dey on street again. Hey, guys, on a serious note, I always come here and say, you know, we need to seriously do our reactions without getting too much emotionally attached. A lot of people, don't seem to be getting it. You see, this is a village that has a lot of people that are sometimes even related. Us on the outside are, just privileged to be seeing these people in their daily doings, their daily livelihoods. And me personally, is truly thankful for being privy to watch these people in real time in most cases. I'm privy. Me doing my reactions, here on the streets of YT is that when I see wrong, it is wrong for me. When I see right, it is right for me. Your opinion is your opinion. Mine is mine. I'm talking about reactors and also about subscribers, supporters. We are all here, as outsiders, onlookers, aliens. Some of us are even in the streets of Nyabohanse itself, but are not really physically involved in the daily shenanigans. Anywho, I'm really happy, to be a part of this journey. And sometimes that's why I just rally back, meaning that I just relax and be life in. Yeah. We come, we laugh, we chat, whether it be in private or public, we discuss, we come on, guys. Let's have a viewing mentality. Just watch the thing, talk about it, and do not attach ourselves too much with this thing emotionally. And I keep saying this, and I will always have this disclaimer here on the podcast because sometimes when you are faced with the mosquito effect, you're left with, when we say mosquito effect, go figure. People, yeah, you're left with no other option than to come out and speak. You understand? Let us just enjoy. That's what the commander would say. Enjoy. Yeah. Every village has its ups and downs. Here in the niche of reaction, we will have to talk about it because it's a niche. So we will pick things, we will choose things, or we will choose places or people, and we will speak or react, give our opinions on about or towards. That's what I do. I'm not looking for or to make any enemies. No. And if it's possible, I'm not even looking to make any friends. Not in a bad way. I am me. What you see is what you get. And I'll let it rest right there. So, anyhow, my people, right is right, wrong is wrong. Give Jackie them jackets. Call a spade a spade. And I'm saying all of this because we use different terms in different regions. Yeah? Call a spade a spade. And that's all that I'm here to do. That is all. Nothing more. Nothing more. I have nothing but love inside of me. So we proceed. As I say, prior to my disclaimer there, you know, we've seen, Baba Gintu been apprehended, incarcerated, and now he's back on the streets and he's celebrating. We've seen him came out and in a video yesterday, I've seen him, you know, make a little statement about him going into Nairobi, collecting some goods, some bales of clothing, and he is going to be out on the streets today, which I think he's live as I'm doing this recording. Um, is giving off the items that his supporter sent to him. He was even jabbing here and there that, hey, me, whenever my supporters send things for me to distribute in my village, I'm not going to sell it. We know what he's talking about. Because a few times I hear, I've heard him saying on his channel, oh, that things that Trenchtown Grandpa sent to the village, he accused the family that they were being sold off, which we know is a lie. We know that whatever Gintu say, you just take it like whatever. You understand? So he was there hinting and throwing words that people should look out today because his villagers will be notified and they will come out to celebrate. So I saw him actually doing the live and people were dancing and having fun, which I feel good about it honestly because especially in this season, where you should reflect. In most of the Caribbean like areas right now, you will find people outside, just doing them own thing. So it's good that the villagers can actually come out and celebrate however they want. And it's good that somebody has taken up the initiative to give to the community. It's good because I always, say even here on the podcast that the way how these guys are behaving, it is going to turn people's mind from even wanting to help them to build that village, to lift up that village. And I hope that even though he's there dancing and not saying much about, his few days of incarceration, which I don't think he may be privy to say anything based on what's going on. We don't know at this point what took place. I've heard on the streets of YT that he was out on bond. He never said anything like that. I mean, I don't know if he said it and I didn't hear, but I didn't hear it personally when I watched his video yesterday. I didn't. So I wouldn't speak much on that. I'll just wait and see. Anyhow, my people, um, let us just wait and see what would happen with his situation in that situation of him being out. Let's wait and see. So I was saying I'm happy that people can actually come in and help this village to lift up this village. I'm really happy. I always wonder what are going through these people's minds when they come out to the cameras and you know release these contents, acting the fool, calling down their villagers and their village, bringing things to the media that has no place on social media, where it is culture for them to deal with their things differently. Now that they have this thing called YouTube, they're just here throwing what we would say here in the West, washing your linen, your dirty linen in public, and creating confusion. And a lot of people, like on the outside, would go instruct them as to how to live their lives and would bring upon them or impose on their culture. Correct me if I'm wrong. We've seen it so many times. Impose on their culture. You know, Sometimes, like I would say, what you're doing, like even in the situation where we saw where Mr. Kohira Sina came out and behaving, and calling down and just doing the most. I call him out for that. And I see a lot of people who even often would come to the camera and speak negatively and create unnecessary drama out of nothing, or out of many things that you know that doesn't even deserve to be dramatized. I see them now lashing out at him because it's not culture. He's acting out of the niche, not the niche, out of the realms of culture. Anyways, I'm not here to preach too long about Gintu and his situation, but I'm saying let us you know hope that people will come in without corrupting and continually instructing these people to fight against each other. These guys, when we are where we are, in our homes and our fancy high-rise building and our big mansion where we are, these people, after you go in and you create confusion, these people are left to walk past each other, to face each other in the marketplace, in the clinics, in the little lanes in the village. So come on, come on. We know that a lot of them have nasty, bad characters, but what village does not? What village doesn't? I will call them out for whatever they're doing that is wrong and coming out on YouTube behaving like a fool just for few pennies. I call them out for that. But when you go in and want to instruct this one, do that, do that, man, it creates a lot of tension, a lot of problems, and a lot of enmity unnecessarily amongst those people. And they are left to deal with the face the consequences because they are seeing these people. They are breathing in the same environment. Not preaching today, but I'm just saying. I'm just trying to pull the veil from over many people's eyes because they're so drunk on creating confusion amongst. And we should stop it. We should stop it. You're privileged to see what's going on and you know if correct them if they're wrong, but do not encourage them. And the reason why I'm saying all of this to I've been seeing some comments. Oh my gosh. I've been seeing some comments beneath some of these people, like when these guys come out here and behave in a manner that isn't right. These enablers would go on and encourage them to create enmities, to fight with each other. It's wrong. It's wrong. That's not healthy. You guys are in, as me say, uno there now in the country. Your laws and your custom does not apply to these people. All you can do and all you should do, if you know what is right, say what's right. But don't put them to go up against each other because it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Anyway, my people. So we've seen where Gintu, came out and today, to his platform and they're there celebrating and dancing and having fun. And as he promised, apparently, um, he was given things to hand out. As he said, he was giving things to hand out to the people. So let them continue, and whomever sent those items, let them continue to do good to the village and not allow these people to create enmity amongst themselves. Give them tools whereby it would take them away from the unnecessary drama here on social media. They have to imagine, look at all that is happening now. Gintu, struggling for content, would come out and just say any old thing. And then you guys would enable him, cheer him on. Any old thing. These are the same people when he come out and create lies and create fake false narratives and drama just for nothing. Yes, he has a niche to react. Well, the reaction is all nothing but a facade, fabrication, because half of what he's saying is just nonsense. You guys know that. You know, but you cheer him on. I'm happy to see him out there now, championing to continue to look out for the community, not to destroy it. Let him go out there and feed whomever he was feeding, plant whatever he was planting. Let him continue, enable him to continue do those things, not to destroy the village. He has to continue living there, not to destroy friendships. He has to meet these people on a daily basis. Now, look, going to correct him, going to, you know, speak to him simply to detour him, to warn him from creating unnecessary confusion and havoc and chaos is what led to him being incarcerated in the first place. Remember, it was what he did. And you guys were cheering him on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Reveal them. Reveal what? He was the one at one point who was even serving this family with milk. Since he was a boy, he was the one who even came out and said that. So why now are you guys out there touting him on to continue with the foolishness? And you saw what happened. Your pockets had to burn. That money could have even be given to him to help with his house or to help with some kind of feeding of the vulnerables. Other people there in that village that needs help. No, but you guys had to jump up to scrape money to put together to bail him out. And who knows what is going to happen after even that money. Maybe all I know that money probably burn up because he might be charged with something and have to spend some kind of time. Who knows? Because up until this point, he has not even come out to say anything. It is not working. That method is not working. I know that you guys love the entertainment and you like to see the fight. Let me tell you something. The most time that I get a lot of attention on this channel is when the content is pointing towards fire, fire, drama. I don't do the drama, but if I make a certain type of like title, or I'm gonna set somebody, dust down somebody in a positive way, that is when you will find 20 people subscribing, 50 people, 30 people. That's how they come because people are naturally like there is this magnet, this magnet that pulls people towards drama, and the system pushes that. It piques their interest because they want to come to hear what is being speak. But let me just be mellow, like how I'm speaking here now, naturally. You would never even see 1,000 views on this channel, on this video. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's a fact. So these guys would try for that. They would feed on that because you guys would go over and instigate them, and they like it because the views that they get from it. And you continue to enable them while they're wreaking havoc in the same environment that they have to survive in. It's wrong. And at the end of the day, it becomes nothing but a monetary transaction. It's all transactional for them. At the end of the day, it becomes nothing but transactional for them. It's sad. It's sad. And that's why sometimes you see me move away from the village content. I try to diversify my content in a way because it when I watch on, it's as if there's no ending in sight. It's as if people cannot understand that at some point in time, you have to realize and reflect and remember that every part in this world, every village, everywhere human or living things exist, there will be some kind of ups and downs, some kind of disagreements. I said this before a few days ago. There will be disagreements. Anyway, I'm looking forward to, even though I know that, you know, whenever it comes to even Gintu himself, I always view him as like, when you're in the desert and you're seeing something, it's a mirage, you're thinking it's water and it's not. That's just how I view Gintu because he's always ever shifting to go back to his ways because that is what works for him. And that's why I ask, is he a villain or is he a hero? Eh, Hero in the sight of the ones who are enabling him. Because yes, he's here to give the gist and spill the tea. Anyway, if you are here to if you're gearing up to enable him, please enable him with the tools to build his surroundings, not to enable him to tear it down. Please, guys, please. You know how good I feel. When I look at the video that he was the live he was doing not a few minutes ago with the kids dancing and the people just dancing, celebrating. That reminded me of my childhood years when, you know, there were so many less fortunate around, and maybe a politician or somebody would probably have come from overseas and decide to do something good for the village. I grew up in a village by the sea. Yeah. And everyone would just, I don't know how news would go around so fast because in those days there was no telephone. The only telephone that we had was you would have to walk for miles to go to the public, I mean, to the town square. And there was this long line on a Sunday where everybody would want to go and make a call to their relative over in the USA, USA, America, America. Yes, I used to wonder how word would have gotten around so quick. The entire, my village is like, it would be like any other village. Like you'd have divisions, upper, lower, across, you know? You don't know where these people would come from, but they would come out anyways, gather around and get whatever goodness, whatever is there, they would come out and enjoy. Be it a little ice cream, be it a little book or pencil for the kids. Hey, we were happy. And these things sometimes, even people like missionaries would come and bring stuff like crayons, glues, drawing books. Bro, a lot of us couldn't afford those things. And they would come like it's like heaven. This would be like, oh my God, heaven. We would have died and gone to heaven just seeing these things. I'm telling you. So it felt good. Just watch. And I like in my heart, I was saying to myself, Lord, if a lot of us would have just stopped enabling this behavioral pattern of these people and helped to build this village. Roads, for roads, running water until this present day. Hmm? You may wonder why this connection. We are all Africans. That is where it all began. And that is why we are affiliated. We're connected in one way or the other. There is this thing deep down when you hear about Africa. But I'm telling you, like I always say, when I stand up and watch the behavior, sometimes I want to distance myself as far as the East is from the West. Many times, if you stop to think about it, even though, those people would have had their own personality and their own infightings and their own tribal rules, laws, and behavior and whatever. Many times, when once they're exposed and the corruption starts, it will double, triple, or even 10 times, 100 times worse. It will get worse. The outside influence, bad influence, will make their already toxic behavior worse. Not that everybody is toxic in that village, but then you as an outsider, once one behave in a particular way, you will actually start to see the entire. Like I said, like sometimes I want to distance myself from even anything like being called an African or being like, you know what I'm saying? Just because, and I would have to reprimand myself and say, no, 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 that's generalizing. Don't do that. But I'm telling you, just watching those kids dancing this morning, it touched me differently. Differently. It actually makes me to want to even, you know, figure out of ways to do more. So this is actually a plea to you guys. Stop enabling these people to fight with each other. Give them tools to build their communities. You guys are behaving like the politician them way. The politicians, bad politicians. That's how you behave when you go in and want to set communities. Don't think that it doesn't happen elsewhere. Once they know that you're not of their party, they will come in and try to infiltrate the communities and, you know, let the communities now start to infight. It happens all over. But this, I'm seeing, and we're all seeing, it's playing out on the world stage, meaning YouTube stage and the streets of YT. Thousands of people watches daily. Nyabohanse now has a place on the map. Literally. Come on, guys. I didn't even intend to, do this content. I had something else lined up. But I just had to relieve what was on my chest. Give them tools to empower them, to empower themselves. That's all I have to say. Enjoy your Easter. It's a short one, I know. I'll go back to regular schedule on the next episode. Bye, guys. You do have a blessed, a reflection time.
Hold me.